Hello. I'm going to discuss today the pineal gland, prophets, mystics, the occultic third eye, psychics, so on and so forth. Okay? The pineal gland is a tiny endocrine gland in the middle of your brain. It's straight above the spinal cord connection at the stem of your brain. Science claims its main job is to secrete melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that's mainly produced by the pineal gland. The full impact and purpose is thought by medical research to synchronize circadian rhythms in your body. Circadian rhythms are physical, mental, and behavioral changes that follows a 24-hour cycle. These natural processes respond primarily to light and dark. Your pineal gland releases the highest levels of melatonin when there's darkness and decreases the melatonin when you're exposed to light. It increases the levels of melatonin in darkness, decreases them in light. Because of this, melatonin has often been referred to as the sleep hormone. Melatonin interacts with female biology in the regulating of menstrual cycles. Melatonin can also protect against neurodegeneration, the loss of the function of neurons. Your pineal gland receives signals from the retina in your eyes about light and dark. Now, for another view of the gland, occultists and spiritualists call the pineal gland the third eye and serves as a connection between the physical and spiritual worlds. In antiquity, the pineal gland was referred to as an enigmatic organ by Van Gehoeken due to its role in creating a bridge between material and spiritual life. Arthur van Gehoeken was a Belgian anatomist known for his contributions to the theory of neurons. So what are the symptoms of a problem or malfunctioning of the pineal gland according to medical science? 1. Headaches, nausea, vomiting, or tremors. 2. Difficulty with the sense of direction. 3. Changes in fertility, menstrual cycle, or ovulation. And number 4, mental health issues, particularly seasonal symptoms like SADD, seasonal affective disorder. So, now I'd like to go for some biblical connections in this, and let's go into the background of where we want to go today. Genesis chapter 32, verse 30. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. The word Peniel means face of God. Jacob, being pursued by his brother in a dread, knowing Esau desired to kill him from early on, he sends his wives and children with an offering. Jacob was soon to come face to face with death, and like Lot, decides to use the women in his life as an offering. While Jacob was left alone and was in that place, he wrestled with a man until that man touched the hollow, or in the Hebrew, calf, which means the power of his thigh. His thigh to hip joint was dislocated, and Jacob would have a limp the rest of his life. Done was his ability to run. Done was his ability to war effectively in the natural, and possibly even his reproductivity. So Jacob had wrestled with the angel Peniel, the angel who has the face of God, or his presence, to bring him to face-to-face encounter with God. Jacob came out of this experience with God's angel Peniel with a new name, Israel, meaning he will rule with God. The location of this place is not far from Sukkot, and Jacob, in the process of coming to this place, crossed the river Jabbok. The name Jabbok means he will empty. Another form of the same verb means to be luxuriant. So, in face-to-face encounter with God is to be emptied of all the things that hold us back, so that we can be filled with the face of God, the presence of God, and be in luxury and have the very best. It's with a sincerity that I believe the angel pineal and the spilling of the pineal gland are similar for a reason. Just as the spiritualist research believe the pineal gland connects the physical with the spiritual, so the angel pineal is the angel of God's face that connects us with the spiritual realm in Christ. This coincides, I believe, with two Bible verses. One is Isaiah 1:18. Come now, let us reason together. Come, meaning yalak, to walk. Reason, yakak, to be right. Come walk with me to be right or righteous. To walk in being right in righteous living. This sounds similar to like the reverse of Jacob to Israel. Experience. Face-to-face encounters with God removes those weights and sins that so easily beset us. Now, Matthew 6:22 and 23. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, your whole body shall be full of light. But if your eye be evil, your whole body shall be full of darkness. Therefore, if the light that is in you be darkness, how great is that darkness? Remember the connection of the retina of the eye and the pineal gland? We are receiving more righteous instruction from Jesus. So now in Matthew chapter 6, Jesus instructs us about giving alms, fasting, heart conditions, and orientation or alignment, which is talking about involvement of the pineal gland, remember, sense of direction. To get a full picture, allow me to use this information from Arthur Burke in his study of the Druids. As a matter of understanding this better, I suggest you look up his two videos on Druids to get further information. Druids were priests for communities and kings who ruled over citizens in cities or fiefdoms. God had blessed the Druids with the powerful tools and wisdom, and their prominent redemptive gift was teacher. They began righteously, but some of them who had to deal with rulers who refused to acknowledge God or the principles of God that the righteous Druids operated in. Many of the Druids then perfected the use of the pineal gland, looking to the other side of the spiritual kingdom, the kingdom of darkness, or simply the domain of Satan. We must understand there is knowledge and wisdom on both sides of the spiritual systems. There are righteous angels and fallen angels. They all have a knowledge of the operation of many things, especially of creation. The wisdom of the kingdom of darkness is defiled and brings destruction. There are many prophets and prophetic people that can tap into both sides of these spirit kingdoms. The scriptural example of this is Balaam, who was called upon by Balak to curse the nation of Israel. So again, I visit the account of Jacob wrestling with the angel Peniel. This account is reckoned by many as a man or woman wrestling with their fallen nature. The image is certainly bolstered by Jacob saying that surely this is the place where the face of God was, where I met him. Jacob received a new name, and this is likened to the new name given to us by Jesus in the book of Revelation. Now let's apply this account to the access to the kingdom of darkness through our pineal gland. Jesus said, if your eye is full of light, then your body is full of light. If it's full of darkness, then your whole body is overtaken with darkness. Replace now the word eye and use the word pineal gland. If your pineal gland is full of the light of Jesus, then your whole body is blessed. If your pineal gland is full of the kingdom of darkness, then disease and destruction will follow. I personally believe this could be at least one reason for mental illness, much disease, and interruptions of sleep. Who knows, right? It certainly is an open door for fear. I think it also makes us more vulnerable to witchcraft. Let's observe the door Arthur Burke uses, or the word Arthur Burke uses for the pineal gland, or the psychic door. Jesus said he is the door to the kingdom of the Father, the door to the Father. So now, the kingdom of heaven and the door to the Father. So now, that's been said, let's make the obvious connection. Shut the psychic door and open the door of Jesus. Through the door of Jesus, you have access to all revelation and life that you need. Why go anywhere else? By his stripes you are healed. My suggestion is for all of us to pray and ask Jesus to shut our psychic door and even make that proclamation over ourselves. No, now open the door to Jesus and commune with him. Prophets, I beseech you, for your sake and for ours as well, shut your psychic door. If a witch attacks me using my psychic door seeking to destroy me, they give me permission to ask God to shut their psychic door and shut down their power from the kingdom of darkness.